Bitcoin is pumping towards the upside right now, and in this exact video, I will talk about why this move could even continue further on. I will talk about why Bitcoin is pumping towards the upside right now. I will talk about the most important resistance that we're literally retesting right now. So without any further ado, make sure to slap up that like button on today's update video. Let's smash it back above 500 likes. That will be absolutely incredible. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards the content, because yes, Bitcoin has been crushing new highs. Bitcoin just set once again a new yearly high, and it hit 36.8k, and Bitcoin even managed to hit 36.8k, what is an absolutely insane target already. And honestly, the majority of the people were not expecting that Bitcoin was gonna go so high. So what are we seeing right now here? First, Bitcoin was creating somewhat of a small little double top, then it recovered a little bit here, broke above that level, and the point we basically broke above the previous high, that was the point where we start to accelerate. For me, once again, I was asleep, but what we're seeing once again is that this move for Bitcoin yet again happened in the Asia session. So while Asia was trading, Bitcoin was moving upwards. And it's very funny because actually for the last 4 or 5 big pumps on Bitcoin, every single time it was on that Asian session. And once again, it was on the Wednesday/Thursday. So it's always in that middle point of the week where Bitcoin tends to be the most volatile. So we have been talking about this consolidation phase for many times before in the channel. And I said also that this really looks like a typical bullish continuation phase, just like we had in previous bull runs. And once again, we created that continuation pattern, and Bitcoin actually also continued further on towards the upside. And we can clearly see that we created somewhat of a parallel channel here on Bitcoin, and actually we right now also managed to be breaking above the top side, what is of course absolutely insane. Also here on the 8-hour time frame, we clearly saw that this was the level, this 35.4k, what was providing resistance. We got rejected once right here, twice, 3 times in a row, and then actually yesterday, or like 8 hours ago, we managed to confirm that candle break above that level, and after that we straight away saw that continuation happening towards the upside. So once again, a very good indication to look at this chart. Once we confirmed the breakout above this level, that was the point we really started to be moving towards the upside. But maybe a reason why we are actually pumping right now here is that we are right now entering a window where potentially the Bitcoin spot ETF could get accepted, and the Bloomberg analyst James is saying we are still believing there's a 90% chance that the 10 Bitcoin spot ETF will be getting approved before January 10th, and if it comes earlier, we are right now entering that potential window of approval orders of all current applications. So he is explaining about why that is happening right here. So basically right now for the coming 12 days, we are in a window for potential ETF acceptance, and that is of course making it very interesting, because once the Bitcoin spot ETF hits the market, we all know what it is going to be doing with Bitcoin. It's going to create a huge scarcity shock because the demand can't be priced in here, and it will of course be a big game changer for the market. And that is potentially why Bitcoin is right now moving towards the upside. So if you want to be trading Bitcoin or benefiting from the volatility, don't forget to go to Bybit in the link description of today's video, because you can currently claim a deposit bonus up to $40,000, and without this link it's only $400. So it's definitely a win-win situation for everyone out there watching the channel. I do want to be pointing out right now here on the daily time frame, Bitcoin indeed is of course creating higher highs right now. Here on the RSI we are potentially still creating lower highs, so Bitcoin is potentially still losing some momentum here on this chart, and this could potentially mean that Bitcoin is right now losing some momentum. However, I have said this several times before. I mean, honestly, what we should be really doing here is looking at the news, and this is once again important news, what is really driving the market upwards. And if we're looking at the volume is not necessarily increasing, but it is just the fact that people are not actually willing to sell their Bitcoins anymore. And more importantly, right now Bitcoin is maybe sitting at one of the most important levels of resistance out there of this entire trend, the 36.5k. We're currently trading a little bit above it, but this level right here is being previous weekly support, and if we break with the weekly candle above this level, we're breaking in towards this bullish range here on the top side. So that is definitely a thing that I would love to see here. So I'm going to be looking towards Bitcoin very closely, but if we break above 36.5k, I will be definitely thinking we're going to go see a very big continuation. But as long as we're not breaking above this level, I honestly really think that this is going to be a big level that's going to be providing resistance, at least on the weekly time frame. So let's see if we can confirm the weekly close above this level. That will be, of course, in my opinion, absolutely amazing. But don't forget that Bitcoin is right now really trading on very important resistance. And also a thing you shouldn't forget here is that actually Bitcoin is right now getting overbought on the weekly time frame. And the last 3 times Bitcoin has got overbought on the weekly time frame, it stayed overbought for at least a longer period of time. And you can clearly see what it does with the price action of Bitcoin, because overbought on the RSI is not necessarily a bad thing. It is just an indication that the bullish momentum is exponential and people are super excited about the price action of Bitcoin, and Bitcoin usually tends to go also exponentially upwards in terms of price action. So Bitcoin is currently overbought, and I think this is, of course, absolutely incredible to see. So once again, we are waiting to see what this continuation is going to be like. But honestly, as long as this momentum stays, Bitcoin could definitely still benefit from this overbought condition and this overhyped condition currently in the market. So you can clearly see Bitcoin is indeed breaking back in towards the bull market region. But I quickly want to be taking a second to talk about altcoins, because yes, the Bitcoin dominance has been bouncing back a little bit here on this latest move on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is up about 2 to 3% here, while Ethereum is only up 1.7 and some other altcoins as well. So if we're first going to be looking at the total tree market cap, so that's the total cryptocurrency market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are still in fact creating lower lows here on that weekly time frame. And actually, we have not been breaking above this very critical level right here. So I want to be seeing confirmation, a break above that level for altcoins to potentially really see that continuation getting created, and also to see the confirmation in this exact move that we're creating. And on the total 2, so the total 2 is the market cap excluding Bitcoin only, we can still see that we're also still trading in a downward sloping trend line, also creating an upward sloping support line, and basically creating a gigantic consolidation phase. And I want to really see this level also break out here. So if this level breaks out, I could potentially start to say, okay, maybe altcoins are going to be starting to be really breaking out right now here, and it's not going to be a fake out. But anyways, you should be very careful with trading altcoins. There's much risk on altcoins in my opinion, but there are always way more risk on trading altcoins. But personally, I am just gigantically a fan of trading Bitcoin in this period of time, because I really think that the best time to be trading altcoins is once Bitcoin breaks its all-time high, because then the risk is super low by buying altcoins. And that is, of course, what I'm looking at. I'm looking at low risk, high return, and I really think that the low risk, high return situation for altcoins are going to return once Bitcoin is going to be above $50,000 approximately, just very closely towards the all-time high. And if Bitcoin is maybe going to be having a small drop here, we never know what's going to be happening. I can guarantee you one thing, altcoins are going to drop twice or maybe 3 times as hard as Bitcoin at that point. So let's see how it is going to be playing out. But this was it for me in today's update video. I truly hope you did learn something from it. Bitcoin continues to be pumping towards the upside. I mean, you know my target, 36.5k is the biggest resistance out there. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.